All right. I guess with that, we can go to topic 2. Twice. Feel
Yep, you can run
special.
the show.
All right, I will. Yeah, this album surprised me.
Yeah, it's different in a good way.
Yeah, I listened to this album and I honestly couldn't believe I was listening to it twice, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
They finally did something. I mean, they finally did something different with Fancy, but this just evolved on it.
Yes, I think I'll get to it. All right, so we're going to start out with the first song, which is the title track, which is Feel Special. And the first comment I said is, I think we finally got the Run Devil Run era that we've been asking for from Twice.
Yeah.
I think if any song is it, this is it.
Yeah.
I'd call Fancy kind of if I'm making a parable to SNSD, it's Fancy is like Genie, and then this is Run Devil Run. They kind of gradually got a little more edgier, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, after coming out with Fancy, which in my opinion was a huge step forward for Twice in finally developing a new sound, I think they've kind of continued in that general direction, which will become a good thing as they start to get older and become less comfortable with doing their traditionally hyper cute concepts. I thought the hip hop inspired rap sing vocals and electronic instrumentals stand out really well in this track, and I think it made for a super solid comeback.
Yep. Yeah, I really like this sound. I think I pretty much agree with you. It's in the same vein as Fancy, but they didn't do the exact same thing.
Yep.
It's like an evolution, and that was something I was a little worried about because it's definitely something they've done in the past with stuff like Heart Shaker and What Is Love, where they just basically remake their last single that did well as a new type, a new song that's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I love how it's got these house influenced beats. It gives a really nice mix up on top of I think the chorus is still classic Twice. It's got a nice catchy vocal hook. I don't think it wasn't a complete change. They still have that Twice sound in there.
Yeah.
But it's a big enough change that from Fancy and this are a big enough change that I'm happy with what they've been doing. I think the synth lines are really catchy and they complement the vocals really well. One thing I wanted to point out is I don't normally pay attention to lyrics for K-pop, but when I first watched the music video, I had closed captions on because I was watching a variety show earlier.
Yeah.
And I literally teared up at Mina's part because the song's lyrics are pretty sad, actually. They're talking about how obviously it's called Feel Special, and they say you make me feel special. But the verses are talking about when they're alone, they feel depressed and lonely, and so those are literally Mina's lyrics are what she's going through. And she was talking about just feeling depressed and alone, and then until you see your smile, and so and then obviously it's talking about being lifted up. So yeah, I literally teared up during that part. The lyrics are way more moving than I expected to from what the song sounds like.
Yeah.
Also got bonus points because her scene was with Chaeyoung, who was my other bias. So, but yeah, and then I think the styling and the music video and everything are amazing too. The outfits are fantastic, especially the dresses. I saw someone make a picture that had it had the picture of them in dresses from What Is Love. Which were more fun cocktail dress type or not cocktail dress. I don't know. They're more fun casual dresses.
Yeah.
But so they captioned it Junior Prom, and then they showed this one as Senior Prom.
Yeah.
Because these dresses, I thought that was a really accurate description because these dresses are super elegant, and insane looking. Sana's pink hair is amazing. And especially now that it's fully pink, it's even better.
I don't know about the bangs that they had in the teaser photo, but she did look good in the end in the actual
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now it's not blonde with pink highlights. It's fully pink. So, and then Mina is breathtaking as always. And then choreography. It's Twice choreography. I think they never have the most technical choreography, like technically complicated. But their choreography does a really good job of fitting the song and being something that they can execute really well.
Yeah.
So I think once again they killed it, and I love this song a lot.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, we have. Oh wait, actually, also, you were commenting on like Mina's part and stuff. I like how also on the album artwork they have everyone like surrounding
she's in
her.
The middle.
Yeah. I don't know if that was purposeful or not, but I like to think it is.
Was.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
All right. So
well, it definitely was, because that wasn't the album art and fans complained and they actually changed it because they had one of the other covers, because there's 3 versions or whatever.
Oh.
So like the version on iTunes was a different version until people complained and they changed it.
Huh.
So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, fandom doing something nice. Okay, so coming up next we have Rainbow,
which is a cover of the group.
Cover of the group, rip them. I love them. But
amazing.
anyways,
listen to Rainbow.
Yeah, I love the weird in this song. I really love the weird like reversed, like it sounded like reversed like hollow sounding notes in the beginning. I don't know how to explain it. They're like bubbles, but like popping in reverse
backwards.
Yeah. And then the like really deep bassy notes and almost like flapping sounding beats are really cool. Like I found a lot of like weird songs or sounds in this, and
there's a ton.
I don't really know how to explain them, but they're really cool. Listen to the
song. Yeah.
Yeah. The chorus is super strong and has like a really like big sound. I thought the rap section was really catchy in this as well. And another thing, I really love how like tall the climbs are in such a short amount of time. Like the rate of change, I guess, on that is super like steep. So yeah, this was a great song. I really like this.
Yep. Yeah, I like basically had similar comments. I thought the intro, like the crazy and sparse instrumentals of the intro, using a snapping as the beat with all these like glitchy electronic sounds mixed in, was really interesting. It's not something you expected to hear on a Twice song.
Yeah.
And then like you said, it eventually leads into a much more normal Twice song. I think the vocals are pretty standard Twice, but it has a much more normal instrumental. But it's just a fun upbeat like piano and synth part. It's a fun upbeat Twice song you can jam to, but the verses are definitely the highlight for me with like the super unique instrumentals.
Yeah. So I know how you said it's like kind of, it does still like sound like a Twice song. To me, it almost doesn't. Not because of the vocals or anything, but because like this is a recurring throughout the whole album. Like the production is way better than it normally is.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
true. Yeah.
Like the mixing and everything is way, way, way better. Like like Fancy again was a step in the right direction, but it still was clearly like a JYP production. This doesn't sound like something that was produced by JYP Entertainment.
I'm gonna whisper it.
It's like I wish they'd bring that back, but
oh no, yeah, I do too. I love it.
It's like that was a K-pop staple.
Yes.
Anyways,
it's like Brave Sound. I feel like he just doesn't make music anymore, so you just never hear that anymore. But
yeah. Oh, speaking of those like producer name drops, I was listening to The Boys, and when they say TRX, I finally figured out what that means. It's Teddy Riley.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, I knew. I
was like, I knew it was produced by Teddy Riley, but like, I didn't know that's what. I never knew what that was. Anyways, back to Twice. Next track, Get Loud. Yeah, like right off the bat, I really love like the marching band like drum intro, drum line, which goes like straight into the huge sounding vocals from Jihyo. I thought that was a really strong opening, and that like huge sound stays throughout the duration of the song, and I really love it. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like the production on this, like in this album, is way better than it normally is.
Yep.
Like nobody's vocals like sound annoying at all. Like I like Twice, and I like am tolerant of super like high frequency like vocals and stuff, but for a lot of people, like they don't like it because it's kind of fatiguing. Like listening to high frequency sounds is fatiguing on your ears. That's just the thing. Like there's no problems with that in this whole album, and it's just so good. Song is like such a risk. It's so rich and crisp sounding. The bass is really booming and fun, but it's not completely overpowering. Like basically the way I'd describe it is it's an awesome song to play at a party, but it's also not like an annoying club banger.
It's like, a chill. It's chill enough that you could just like chill out and listen to it, but then it's also
I don't even know if I'd say it's hype. I don't even know if I'd say it's chill. I think it's super hype. I think it's a perfect example of like it doesn't have to be an annoying club banger to be a good party song, you know what I mean?
I guess like chill is not the right word, but it's smooth.
But yeah, it's smooth. It's fantastic. It's so good. This is definitely my favorite song in the album, even more than Feel Special. I really love this song. I hope we can get a title track like this someday, like this sort of really hype, crazy sound. I think that would be really awesome.
Yep. I pretty much agree fully. Like I said, I love the super hype drumline intro and the like glitchy vocal part that persists throughout the song.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of like a Latin feel to it almost. And it's just like an utter jam. Like it's just a perfect party song without being like an insane over the top banger.
Yeah.
And then also exactly what you said, mirroring what you said, I think their vocals fit this type of song really well. They're singing in the lower, like a bit of a lower register, so it's not straining. And I think this would make people that don't particularly like Twice's vocals might like this song.
Yeah.
I think the build to the chorus is fantastic, and then the fact that the chorus doesn't drop like you expect, and it just keeps going at like a good pace. But yeah, the like get loud part, I just love that. And then there's like a whistle that comes in occasionally. It's such like a good like hook, I would say.
Yeah.
Also, Mina's voice is utterly perfect for the song. Her part stood out definitely. Granted, I love her voice. It's like one of the main reasons she's my bias.
Yeah.
I know some people are hating on it in Discord, but like I agree with you. It's my favorite song on the album. It's probably
I don't understand what they don't like about it.
Probably in my top 10 Twice songs. I know Sam and Flixer liked it, so shout out to them. Yeah. Not everyone on Discord hated it.
Yeah, I don't understand what they would not like about this song. Like, I don't get it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, usually I can tell what people probably don't like, but in this, I legitimately have no idea, like, what they don't like about this song.
So good.
Anyways, I guess coming up next, we can go into Trick It. Yeah, I thought the synths and, like, layered vocals they used in the song were, like, really nice and, I guess, like, crisp sounding. Like... Again, like, I can't believe I'm listening to a Twice song right now. Like, it doesn't...
Yeah, it just doesn't...
It doesn't feel like them, but in a good way. The high-energy choruses with the, like, super deep bass layered throughout was really nice. And the song has such, like, a really good, like, forward momentum. It kind of keeps you on your toes the entire time, and that's what I really liked about this track in particular. And for me personally, it contends with Get Loud. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah. I like the song too. I do have one issue with it, but I'll get to the good stuff first. I love how it starts out with a nice like smooth synth line, like you said. It's got that clapping beat and like a really catchy vocal melody. Their vocals are just so good at the beginning. I like how smooth of a song it is. Like after, like it leads from Get Loud into this like really well.
Yeah.
And I love the vocal part of the chorus, but the Trick It part is like my one issue with it. Like that part of the song, like that Trick It like vocal part, it just feels too abrasive compared to how smooth the rest of the song is. So that's like my one issue with it. I don't hate the song. I like the song, but
You don't like
I kind of wish
trick it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like because the rest of the song is so like smooth and it just feels like so out of place.
You don't like how it like kind of like jabs you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it felt like just it felt out of place for me.
Okay.
But overall, the rest of the song I love. It's just that part that I had an issue with.
All right. Up next, we got Love Foolish. The synths in the opening once again like hooked me right in. I think that's strength of a lot of the songs on this album is like right from they made the intros to the song like super interesting. I really like the robotic beats and voice samples. I thought that was a really cool touch. I also really like the vocal vocal layering they did on to make the vocals a little more like artificial or like synthetic sounding. I kind of liked how robotic the song kind of sounded. And I also really like the like whisper talking sort of chorus. I thought that was cool.
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely love this song right from the start. I like the electronic intro, like you said, with the like glitchy baby synth was awesome. And I just love hearing new stuff from Twice like this, like crazy experimental like electronic songs that they just don't really do.
Yeah.
And like you said, the synth lines throughout is just so memorable and catchy. It's definitely one of my favorite synth lines I've heard in a K-pop song in a while.
Yeah.
And then their vocals on top of it are great.
Yeah.
The talking Chaeyoung part, the I love you, hate foolish part, it just fits so well and it goes so well over that synth line. I think this is up there with Get Loud as one of my favorite Twice songs. Like I think both this and Get Loud probably cracked my top 10 Twice songs.
Yeah, I'd say like tracks 3, 4, and 5, Get Loud, Trick It, Love Foolish, I think were the highlights of the album for me for sure. All right, up next we have 2129, which I guess is a time, I assume.
Yes.
So like what's that?
No, it's not. It's definitely not a date.
9:29 p.m. All right.
Yeah.
So I thought this song did like such a good job at creating a nice and like open sounding atmosphere. I also like want to. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Like they made it just seem like a really large like room, I guess, but it's also like full, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually also really want to shout out like the vocal performances on this song, which is not something I typically do with Twice super often. It's like really nice, full, rich sounding ballad. So it's definitely like one of their best as far as like this genre goes.
Yeah. It's the loungy ballad. I like, there's a through line in this whole album of like snaps, like snapping sounds. Here they're pretty expected with this kind of slow, like lounge style song. And I think the guitar line pulls it all together. There's also a nice touch of like, there's a little hint of brass that's like in the pretty far back in the instrumentals. But I thought that added a nice touch to this song. Overall it's a Twice ballad. Like you said, they're not known for their vocals.
Yeah.
But so like there's definitely better ones out there, but I think it's perfectly fine.
All right. Finally, we have the Korean version of Breakthrough, which, same as the Japanese version. Although, honestly, as expected, I now kind of prefer the Korean version over the Japanese. I think it just is because I can speak some Korean, so like I feel like the Korean phonetics just lend themselves better to the song for me.
Yeah.
And just like before, the super like bass and like hype energy of the song really helps it stand out, even among these other songs on the album. Yep. And like I said about Get Loud, I could totally see it being like played at a party and being hyped, but it doesn't have to be an annoying like club banger with a wah, wah, wah drop in the middle or whatever.
Yeah. If it's a great Japanese release in Korean. I think it's up there with BDZ as their best Japanese releases.
Yeah. You mean Bulldozer?
Yeah, Bulldozer. And I think like you said, it kind of like helped or like it's the same switch over in their Japanese songs as like Fancy and Feel Special are. So yeah, it's just like a nice change of pace, and overall I think the Japanese song was fantastic. This is a Korean version.
I'm pretty sure like all the Japanese songs that get Korean versions were just originally in Korean anyways.
Oh yeah.
Like, because I feel like that's also part of the reason why there's such a like a gap in like quality between some of the Japanese songs and the ones
because they were produced by Korean producers. And
like, what was I don't even remember what the song was called. There was one of them that was just like so forgettable. It's
most of them are.
It's the one with the like, it's like the old computer aesthetic. I forgot what it's even called.
Yeah.
That one is just
the aesthetic or
the aesthetic. The song? No, the song I don't remember. I remember what the music video looked like.
Let me. Yeah, I'll look up their.
Yeah,
you rant for a couple of seconds while I Google it because I have them all in my library.
Yeah, I guess I could probably just go into scores. I guess.
Yeah, you can go. I'm done talking about Breakthrough because it's just it's the Japanese.
Exactly.
Song I've talked about it on releases.
So review or rating. So for music, I gave it a 6.5 out of 7.
Candy Pop
overall
or Brand New Girl?
No, I like Brand New Girl, and it's not Candy Pop.
There's so many songs on it's
it's right after.
I want
it's Wake Me Up. Yeah, okay. That one's just not.
I was like, it's not One More Time, because One More Time is my was their only good Japanese release in my opinion
for a while. Until BDZ probably
but from their old stuff.
All right, so for music I gave it 6.5 out of 7. I think this is probably their best album since Twice2Gram, I'd say, like easily. Like, I really liked Fancy You, but like this is like expanding on that sound, but with like way better production on all the songs, I think, basically. And then for concept, I gave a 2.5 out of 3. I think this was a really, really awesome music video. Like, as far as like visual design goes, I think this is probably the best music video they've come out with, besides maybe Fancy, because that also had a really cool music video. So 2.5 out of 3 for concept. So I also gave this a 9 out of 10 overall. Thought this was fantastic.
I also gave it a 10 out of 10 because
I gave it a 9 out of 10, but
no, because you said you also gave this a 9 because you gave Dreamcatcher a 9. I see. I also gave Dreamcatcher a 10. I gave this a 10. I think this has two of my favorite Twice songs on it. Like Dreamcatcher had one of my favorite songs from them on it. I think I love this change in their musical style. They're trying new things, and I think it's working. Like you said, the production on this is like way better than previous stuff. I gave them full marks. I thought their concept was fantastic. Music video was fantastic. So full marks. Cooper said a 6.5 out of 7 for music and a 3 out of 3 for concept for 9.5 out of 10. Wow. He said this is easily their best album for me. Every song showcases their talents extremely well while still keeping their uniqueness. The title track's super relatable and emotional lyrics mixed with the super catchy Twice hooks and a fantastic instrumental. The B-sides are just as great. My favorites being Rainbow and Love Foolish. Overall, this is peak Twice, and I hope they continue with this style.
Yes.
And then
definitely agree.
Andrew said he didn't give thoughts, but so if you don't know how Andrew scores albums, he gives 3.5 points for the single and then 3.5 points for the rest of the album. And he gave full marks, 3.5 out of 3.5 for Feel Special, so he really loved that. And then he gave 3 out of 3.5 for the rest of the album. He gave almost full marks for the rest of the album as well. And then a 2.5 out of 3 for concept, so a total of 9 out of 10. So all over 9, so it definitely gets shiny. Let me figure out the full score though.
Like 9.33 or something.
9.375, so it gets rounded up to 9.5. So two shinies.
Both two Truly Daybach in 1 week.
And this one we even got a score from Andrew. So and when Andrew gives a Twice album a 9.5, you know something's good.
Maybe his theory about Fall Twice is true.
That's true. He does say that Fall Twice is always the best Twice. So.
Yep.
So yeah, let us know what you thought in the comments.
Yes.